gonna taste like hot cherry wine. Girl, you're so fine, my blood is gonna taste like hot red wine. Girl, you're so fine, your blood is gonna taste like hot cherry wine. Girl, you're so fine, my blood is gonna taste like hot red wine. Don't you know that when there's smoke, oh baby, there is fire. But with this fire of crazy hot love, it's just sweet old-fashioned desire. And I told you once, then I told you twice, I told you once again that making love feels nice, boy. So fine, your blood's gonna taste like hot cherry wine. Girl, you're so fine, my blood is gonna taste like hot red wine. Girl, you're so fine, your blood is gonna taste like hot cherry wine. Girl, you're so fine, my blood is gonna taste like hot red wine. This naked sparks will have you coming for warmth in the bedsheets. Your heart will start drumming. Girl, you are the one who barks. You told me once, then you told me twice. You told me once again that when bloodlines kick, take us your pink, boy. Tastes like hot cherry wine. Girl, you're so fine, my blood's gonna taste like hot red wine. Girl, you're so fine, your blood is gonna taste like hot cherry wine. Girl, you're so fine, my blood is gonna taste like hot red wine.
I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need need that money. Really, that money. Hello, everybody. It's Dark Side Phil. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill. Stupid fucking trolls, man. I just want to chill. I rock back and forth on the X and Y axis. Tip me so I could catch up on back taxes, making large stacks, refunding chargebacks, and my laugh sounds like act. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bitch. Raise your hands in the air. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bitch. Raise your hands in the air. I need that money. I really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. I want to have chill streams. No detractor memes, bathroom breaks, playing WWE, relaxing chill session of Street Fighter 3. Like I'm getting my vibe back from 2017. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bitch. Raise your hands in the air. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bitch. Raise your hands in the air. I need that money. I really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. I'm the one who operated a successful YouTube channel. I'm the one who just filed for bankruptcy. I'm the one who didn't pay my taxes. I'm the one. Me. I'm the one who masturbated in front of children. I'm the one who got 4th place at Evo. I'm the one with a 10-year legacy. I'm the one. Me. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bitch. Raise your hands in the air. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bitch. Raise your hands in the air. I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill, the condo fees, my mortgage, my taxes, my back taxes, my current taxes, my state taxes, my federal taxes, my tax attorney, my tax guy, my tax accountant, my bankruptcy lawyer, all of my credit cards, my new setup, a new laptop, PS5, gin, bowl of ramen, WWE champion.
She walks in like a wildfire, neon in the night, horror and hellfire. Yeah, she's burning up the lights. Every salty comment's just another spark she bends. She turns their crying into content. That's the message that she sends. And all the fanboys tremble. They don't know how to cope. Every meltdown in her mentions gets dragged without hope. They call her mommy Hellfire like she's some kind of myth. Empress of the salt storm, crowned with every angry riff. She's the queen of your delusion, standing tall above the noise. All your rage just fuels her power. All your tears become her voice. They worship every movement like she's lightning in the dark. She doesn't need your praise, but she ignites it like a spark. Oh, horror and hellfire, mommy of the meltdown empire. Salt in the sky as the fanboys cry. She turns every tantrum into fire. Yeah, Empress Gooner, Empress old mommy. They idolize her, falling down like zombies. She just laughs as the chaos grows. Fast-paced heartbreak, that's the show. She reacts like a comet, leaving trails across the screen. Every salty fanboy shouting, but she's ruling like a queen. Mommy Gooner, that's the name they whisper in the threads. Not because she needs the title, cause she's living rent-free in their heads. The jealousy is rising like a tidal wave of pain. Every fanboy throwing shade just keeps repeating her name. She's the storm they can't escape, the myth they try to claim. But she's horror and hellfire.
Whoops. Wow, OBS, you are really killing it today, aren't you? Meaning it's dead. Hi, guys. Good morning. How are you? I'm trying to keep my head afloat while, recovering from blowing Alex's back out yesterday after his stream, but, we're here. The videos they're reacting to today, multiple. First one is Frit. There's a lot of videos that we're reacting to today. Probably a good, maybe... I'm gonna try and get through, like, 10 of them. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how long my brain will last. But whilst I am reacting, I will be playing, Shadows because I have so much shit that I need to get done in this fucking game. And I have to play it all over again. Hate everything. I hate everything. I hate it. I hate all of it. It hurts me deeply. It is almost the new year. I am also planning on doing a stream on the 26th, probably in the afternoon, to do a, number one, co-stream where I'm playing a bunch of games with other streamers. They're streaming on their ends as well. And then I will be raffling off 3 games on Steam for anybody that shows up in chat and says hello. Nobody's gonna have to put any donations in for that. You just gotta show up and chat and put like a message to say hi or whatever. And you'll be put on the wheel to spin. And if you win one of the 3 games, I will add you on Steam. Nice. Nice, Spectre, nice. Back on topic. If your name is landed on, I will add you on Steam. And you can request a game within reason. I think I'm going to keep the cap at $50, a $50 game max. Just because, you know, shit gets expensive. And, I don't want to go way too ham, and I don't want people taking advantage of it necessarily, because we know people will. Not saying that anybody here right now would do that, but, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and get into the very first video, which is Nintendo won worst game of the year. Of course it did. Put it on 2 times. And get right into it, yeah?
Yeah, I know, Mondays suck, but luckily for you, I'm here to brighten it up just a bit with some terrible, bad Nintendo news. Now, if this was like 2011,
it's gonna brighten up everything,
isn't
isn't it?
No, but in 2025, you tell people I have some bad Nintendo
Pause. I'm gonna make this 1.5. That's a little fast. As he talks fast as it is.
news for you, and they come smashing your door in, trying to take it right from your hands and snorting it all in one go. So the Game Awards came and they went, and as you may know, Expedition 33 swept basically the whole thing. Whether you consider that a positive or a negative, oh well. I'll tell you why I consider it a positive. Because the Nintendo fanboys are losing their minds.
Yes,
really
they are.
got Donkey.
The amount of absolute fucking cope coming from that is still ungodly levels of hilarious to me. It is so fucking funny. It is so fucking funny to me. It will never
was worthy of that title, or Mario Kart World, or even Metroid Prime 4. These guys have no idea how mid Nintendo is in comparison. KCD2, Silk Song, Expedition 33, some of the most well-crafted games ever made. And the most Nintendo can contribute is a family game.
They're not wrong. They're not wrong. Come on, pick it up again. There we go. I don't know what's going on with OBS. OBS just like full-blown completely dropped frames and everything. I don't know why. Morning, beautiful party people. Good morning, Oli. Like I was saying, though, it's very obvious how stupid these people are. And it makes me laugh every time. It makes me laugh. Because there's no reason for you to think that Donkey Kong is better than E33 or Kingdom Come Deliverance or fucking Silk Song. There's no way. There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell. I don't know how you think that would be possible in any way, shape, or form. But it's funny. OBS no like you today. No. We'll see if it keeps up. If it keeps up, then I may have to cancel, but we'll see if it does it again.
It's no wonder Nintendo guys are losing their minds. Nintendo's formula has started to get stale. Kid-friendly, low graphics, high prices. That was working out for them for a bit, but now, when games like Expedition 33 outclass anything Nintendo has made in the...
Now we're fed up with it. We're so fed up with it. The only reason that I have a Switch 2 and I have ZA is because I'm a shiny hunter. That's literally it. It's literally it. And I needed something to get more shiny furfru in. That's the only, like, reliable, feasible option at the moment, even though they haven't set up home to where I can connect to ZA and put my stuff in Pokemon Home, but I digress. We're getting fed up with it.
In the past 10 years or so, it doesn't just draw concern for that company. It draws concern for Sony, for Microsoft, for Activision, for Ubisoft, for EA, every single company you can think of. Going forward, the gaming community is going to be expecting a lot more from you, and they're expecting it not to be $70. That's where Expedition 33 has disrupted everything about the industry. Mario Kart World, an $80 piece of shit that wasn't even complete at launch. That is what the AAA industry thought they could just hand you. So you're goddamn right, even if my favorite game didn't win, you're goddamn right I'm glad Expedition 33 did. Seeing those console fanboy elitist smug faces wiped clean when they slowly...
Oh, I was glad. Everybody knows how happy that I was when Expedition 33 won. You guys saw me react to it on stream. I was elated. Oh. Fucking premier salt. Everything that I needed in my life at that moment. Oh, the Fallout 2 was just phenomenal.
We realized Expedition 33 was going to take every single award. That was a thing of beauty. Now, as you may know, Nintendo got booed at the award show when Mario Kart World was announced.
F1 25.
Okay, come on, Sonic. Come on, Sonic.
Rematch.
Did someone boo on Mario Kart World? It was not that bad.
That's a lie. Yes, it was. It absolutely deserved every single boo that it got. Oh my god, it deserved it. It deserved it so hard. Like there's no getting around it. Sonic should have won that. Sonic should have won that one.
But there was another award show that you may not have known about. The GameStop Game Award Show. And that one was...
Fucking what? Since when? Since when is that even a thing?
Surprisingly good, although I'm questioning all the YouTubers that showed up there. Like, we should probably let GameStop fall apart and die, but whatever, you know, if James Rolfe got cut a check, let the man have his money. I still love Angry Video Game Nerd, even if he shilled and showed up for this thing. Who doesn't shill these days? Well, I mean, me, that's probably why I have no money. But anyway, they actually had very creative awards in comparison.
I mean, Frit, did you not know about the award show that, oh god, what was it? What is her name? What is her name? Stuttering Craig put together. That was just absolute cheeks. I'm pretty sure that Rolf showed up to that one. And it was cheeks. It was booty cheeks. It's not the good kind of booty cheeks. Not the clappable ones that you want to stick your face in and motorboat. Not those. It was bad. It was really bad. And I have not heard a lick about a second one. But there are plenty of awards shows where people will sell out for a little bit of cheddar. If we're being perfectly honest.
To what Jeff Keighley had going. And one of the awards...
No, not the Horror Game Awards. Stuttering Craig does not do the Horror Game Awards. It was supposed to be like a horror game... Not a horror game. Awards show. Game awards show that, supposed to be by the gamers for the gamers kind of thing. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. Okay. It was really bad. The Horror Game Awards show was not good either. That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad too. That was extremely disappointing for me because I was very excited to cover that, and I couldn't. There was just no way I was going to be able to. It was that bad.
There, one that you'll never see appear at a Jeff Keighley show was Worst Game of the Year. That's right. There's a category for Worst Game.
Yes, the real Game Awards. It was bad. It was fucking bad. It was bad.
Of the year. That's actually something people can win. And that award should exist, because it's a badge of shame that will stick to a game developer for a very long time. And guess who won Worst Game of the Year? All right.
It's the fucking nerd here, and I've been summoned by a corporate entity to present an award for the worst game of the year.
Man, what year are we on?
He sold out!
2025?
He
That's
sold
a whole
out!
lot of numbers just to say this year sucked.
Indeed.
Now, thankfully, I haven't played all of these games, but I guess somebody had to in order for them to get nominated,
Oh.
so that's a depressing thought. But hey, there must have been some good games that came out this year, too. And you know the
Quite a
old
few.
saying, you gotta take the good with the bad sometimes, or in this
just the
case,
good.
you just gotta fucking suffer. Anyway,
We
the
all
nominees for the worst game of the year are Mind's Eye. What the
Mind's
hell is
Eye.
this? Well, apparently it's got technical issues, performance problems, buggy mechanics, it failed to deliver on expectations,
Good.
and it just plain
Fuck off,
sucks.
Mind's Eye.
Oh, so that's what the hell it is. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. What kind of name is that? Is this a video game or the title of an instruction booklet? Well, apparently that's not too far from the truth, but
It's
an
literally an
interactive
instruction
instruction
book.
booklet is actually a novel concept, as long as it's free and bundled in with the
Right?
system.
Right?
What were they thinking?
Thank you!
EAFC
He said
26.
it!
What the
He
hell?
said
This is
it
some
again!
random...
Okay, I'm gonna skip this part.
Or what was basically an instruction manual, but they tried to charge you money, people. Sir. It got worst game of the year, and I can't think of a
Good.
company more deserving. As much as people go away, you look like the Metroid Miles character. Go away. Now, as you can see,
Hold on.
And the winner is Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour.
ah!
I'll drink to that.
Oh, well, good. Suck it. Suck it, Nintendo. Eat shit.
To numb the pain,
Yes! Oh my god!
Well, that just happened.
Ah! Scott the Woz! Jump scare! Go away! Go away! You look like the Metroid Miles character. Go away! Now, as you can see, Nintendo got more than just a Kid Award or just Best Racer. It got worst
So funny.
Game of the Year, and I can't think of a company more deserving. As much as people beg me in my personal life, please
Yep.
leave Nintendo alone, my answer will always be a big NO. I know their game.
Nintendo deserves that. It highly deserved that. Fuck them. Also, low expectations. How art thou? I am tired. I am in my body is telling me I'm old. Better than that, I'm surviving. My body is telling me that I'm old because my knees hurt, my back hurts, my wrist just got better. Oh, everything is falling apart. Alex let me blow his back out like that last night. Either it didn't help either, but yeah. Old people things, you know. 25, not just. Oh yeah, it was the Nintendo here for sure. It was bad.
Games aren't as good as people make them out to be, but getting worst game of the year over what was basically an instruction manual that they tried to charge you money for, I think that's
Well.
the most befitting game to be picking, because like Nintendo literally won this award out of sheer greed. Now, if only
Yep.
Doug Bowser could have walked onto stage to be presented with it. So while Nintendo won worst game of the year, Expedition 33 swept the award so hard, Nintendo fans have lost their minds. An average gamer, this guy has been posting non-stop, spiteful and salty, declaring that the Game Awards were set up to make Nintendo look bad. All because Nintendo got booed, but that was their own fault. Anyway, he posts, "Well, Nintendo, this industry would be cooked, bro. Like, really? Cooked?
No,
This Smash Bros.
It would not
character
be
was
cooked
about
at
to
all.
straight up marketing masterclass."
it would not be cooked whatsoever. Not even close.
Oh, I think
Not even close. And I'm getting a giggle out of this because an average gamer is getting absolutely blown out by Astrobot or Astro Cyborg. I don't remember exactly. Astro, whatever. Because he's been shown saying that Expedition 33 is game of the year, or he said that, he tweeted it. And now he's saying an E33 didn't deserve the award. Oh, the hypocrisy. Oh, the horror. So beautiful. I love that
the
shit.
Game Awards this year, last year, and every other year since has proven this industry doesn't need Nintendo at all. Real question: why do I need Nintendo? We have alternatives in the world. We have Power World, we have
Yeah.
Bug Fables, we have Hollow Knight, we have a variety of open world RPGs and everything you can think of. Like, what
It's
purpose,
true.
what role does Nintendo serve? They don't make niche specific type of games anymore. Indie devs have come in and they have outclassed one of the biggest companies on this planet, and the corporate cocksucker here can't stand it. He can't live in
It's Astrobot? Gotcha. I never remember. I'm a little bit touched when it comes to remembering names. Just a little bit. I try. I really do. I'm not good at it. I'm really, really not good at it. So many people have told me what their name is, like their IRL name, and I don't remember it. I'm just really bad at names. I'm so bad at names. Do what? Do what? Angry Vigilante. What am I doing exactly? What am I doing exactly?
a world where there is no Nintendo. The truth is, everything about Expedition 33 was better than everything Nintendo put out this year. From soundtrack to writing to gameplay to visuals. And they priced it very appropriately at that. If Nintendo went away, I don't think the majority of gamers' lives would change. As a matter of fact, it might be
Also, free DLC. We got free DLC out of that shit. Didn't have to pay for it. They just gave it to us.
For the better. Because then Nintendo guys would finally do something other than play solely Mario, and then the rest of the industry could thrive because these guys are too scared to even step outside of their own houses. Oh, but it gets better. Let me just look at this schizo post up here with 6,000 likes.
I believe Jeff was controlling the decisions this year to create the image that Expedition 33 is an otherworldly game, because some of the awards given to it were eyebrow-raising, and didn't feel like...
Again, let me pull it up for you guys, because I fucking feel like it. Because this shit is so goddamn funny. Hey, an average gamer. Why are you being like this if you think that it's so bad and it's a plant? No, not doing more salt content. Nope. Not doing it daily. Not becoming a full-time salt miner. You can shove that straight up your booty cheeks. AVS. AVS, you can shove that right up your cheeks. Not doing it. Nope. 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 Nope-a-lope. Absolute nope-a-lope. Sorry, not sorry. So did Hollow Knight Silksong with a free DLC as well. See? This is what the kind of shit we want is. This is the kind of shit we need in our lives from the gaming sphere. Devs and production crews that actually give a flying fuck about their base.
they went through any real voting process, and this backfired, because the game ain't that at all.
Bro, just shut the fuck up, okay? Donkey Kong lost, and it deserved to lose. It wasn't that good, okay? Yeah, in your head, you may think Donkey Kong was the best thing you've ever played, but we're talking about a year where Silksong and Expedition 33 and KZD2 launched. Donkey Kong didn't stand a fucking chance. You know, Donkey Kong might have stood a chance last year, but this year, you really think that little kid's platformer that's easier than it is to fuck Piers Morgan's wife? You think a game like that stands a chance in this day and age? You're insane.
I want to keep my sanity. I can't do this full time. I can't. It's just not. It's not happening. It's not happening, and you're not going to bully me into it. Just no.
But the denial, these Nintendo bros, they are going through it. The soft posts don't end. I mean, look at this one.
And this is why Nintendo keeps winning. One game got the spotlight with the Fox Indie success story to bankroll Jeff and Karl, while the rest of the year's games get ignored. So much for a celebration of games and gaming, folks. Nintendo celebrates all their games equally. Yeah, sure. I'm not even one to defend Jeff, but sure, keep telling yourself that Nintendo celebrates its games equally. Bull fucking shit. Nintendo does not treat all of its IPs equally. You don't even need me to tell you that. And look, there's more. This one got 6,000 likes because Moist Critical has uploaded a 10-minute video about the Game Awards. He did not mention once that he won Creator of the Year. Here's the guy again. Of course he did it. They are slowly finally seeing what Nintendo noticed ages ago.
Oh god, stop it, dude.
The Game Awards aren't a celebration of gaming.
Thank you.
They're a high-class snobby event. It's dangerously close to imploding, and anyone hyping it up too much now get caught in the back.
Sanity is for the weak. Well, then I am weak as shit, Chaos. And I don't care. You're not going to bull me into it. Sanity is the only thing that I have that is keeping me from becoming an absolute monster on the internet. And I'd rather not be a monster. Thanks. Thanks. Rather not.
Backlash started out. Look, I'm not disagreeing with you, but he's taking every single moment here to make it seem like Nintendo's the good guy, Nintendo's the right one, and everybody else is wrong. The guy's just salty.
To be honest, I'd rather have Hella be a part-time salt miner, in my opinion. Thank you, Red Chaos. I appreciate that. Because I don't think you'll like the person that I'll become if I did decide to go full-time and just become an absolute hate monger. You're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like what you get. I am not a good person when I become that way. It is not okay.
That Nintendo didn't take a single one of the biggest awards at this show. He's pissed off still. And they're taking it out on Expedition 33. I mean, look, everybody's like, how can I make this about Nintendo?
That is so funny. That is so fucking funny. Okay, I think I'm good with this video. Let's move on. It's okay to be weak. Look at Nintendo fans. Right? I am fucking She-Hulk when it comes to those guys. Next. This is going on 2 times. The retarded koala himself is the next one. What I did was I interspliced the good videos with the shit. So that we're not back-to-back-to-back harmoning this everything. And I don't think we're going to get to any Harmon today. I don't think we are. But I probably will do a couple of dedicated streams for Harmon and for Nukem Nintendo, who have put out a shit ton of content. the last, like, week. I might do a little bit more just to cover those guys. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling.
But here's the problem. Just like Netflix, the subscription model is always a trap. It starts out cheap, it feels generous, gets you dependent on the service, and then slowly they crank up the heat a little bit, $15, then $20. And now, $30 a month. That's $360 a year. And what do you get? You get access. That's what you get. That's it. The privilege of renting games that you don't actually own.
What do you mean? That's the same thing with fucking PS5 and the PlayStation Plus. It's the same fucking thing. What are you talking about? What? What? What the fuck do you mean? What the fuck do you mean? Also, I need to look something up really quick, because... Need I remind you that Steam is what it gives you a license to buy a game. You own it, but you don't technically own it. It's the same thing that's happening with PlayStation. It's happening with Nintendo as well, because guess what? Those key cards, you don't get the game. You get a code to like download the game onto your system. That shit is fucking gay. It's beyond fucking gay, and I hate it. Hate monger in female form. Now all you need is a hate mace. We're not doing that. Trust me, you don't want me doing that.
And that's why I've always had a problem with Game Pass. I've never been a fan of renting things. I don't like the idea that my entire library disappears the second I stop paying for it. So the only reason I ever gave Game Pass a little credit was because it let me test games before deciding, if I wanted to buy them. I played it hardly at all. But now, even that value is gone because so many publishers are putting out free demos. Why pay $30 a month for a glorified rental service when I can just download a demo and make the same decision for free? And I could download Trails in the Sky first chapter and play.
What? Are you just using somebody else's video? Are you just using somebody else's video, X-Ball? Is that all you're doing? Because it's been a minute, and I haven't seen you talk once.
And was it like an 8-hour demo for crying out loud before I decide if I want to buy the game? So sorry, Game Pass. Free demos kind of push you out of the way from me. Now
We also get discounts on Game Pass. Name another sub-service that does that. Netflix, HBO, Max, Disney Plus. Nope. No, you're right. You are correct, sir. You are correct, sir. I think that's where I need to go now. No, not yet. Not yet. Okay. We're getting there. We are getting there, though.
Let's talk about how they rolled this out, because this is where it gets downright insulting. If Microsoft had simply announced the price increase, people would have been mad, sure. But at least it would have been straightforward. Instead, they acted like it was some sort of gift they were giving you. They put out the smug tweet bragging about more rewards. Like we're supposed to clap our hands because now we're earning some extra points for wallpapers we'll never use. More rewards.
I mean, you're not wrong with that, but X-Fault. Where's your commentary on this? You're using somebody else's shit. Where's the free use here? It's a minute and a half, and I haven't seen your ugly ass koala face once.
Should we clap for that?
It's insulting. It's condescending. All right, everybody, welcome back to another Xball gaming video. Xball here, and today we're gonna go over
Oh, you're back here. Finally. You're actually talking. Shithead.
next dose of the Salty Batch Files, and in this episode, we're going to be focusing, it seems like, mostly on Jez, but we've been sitting on these things for a little bit, so we do need to address these. Again, Colt and Jez seem to give us plenty of receipts without even funneling over to anybody else, but I digress. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. All right, so like I said, what we're going to do is get right to the plot here. We're going to get right to the theme. This mostly being Jez. There's going to be some other examples as well, but let's start off with something from the Red Dragon. He has a very good point here, as you can see. He states, nah, Xbox fans are getting exactly what they deserve. They couldn't manage the studios they had, and y'all just wanted to, them.
What? What? They're getting what the... What? I'm gonna tell you right now, what the wagon. No gamer deserves that kind of shit. Nobody deserves that kind of shit. You guys are upping PlayStation when they fuck you over with price hikes, and they give you no games to go with your overpriced consoles. So shut the fuck up.
Them to buy more, right? Only for them to destroy Xbox and exclusives. Documentary should be made on you fools. We predicted everything, price hikes, firings.
Thoughts on E33 losing all their awards? I think it's okay. Only the Indie Awards, not the Game Awards, right? I'm only seeing the Indie Awards have done that. The Indie Awards are the only ones that are vanity and virtue signaling to do that. There is no other. There's absolutely no other show that I've seen that's done that is just the Indie Game Awards. They're fucking stupid. They don't know what they're talking about. Step aside. Thank you for letting us know that you are absolute bullshit mongers and you are happy to cave to absolutely stupid public and unfounded public backlash for shit that isn't even true. It's so insane. It's so fucking insane. It's so fucking insane. It's so stupid. How can you cave to a bunch of raging fearmongers who were upset that AI was used purely for, and I mean it, purely for creative purposes, when every artist has to look at other people's work in order to make their own? Every commission that I've done, I have to give references to my artist saying, hey, this is what I want. What do you fucking think that is? They're using other people's shit in order to make what I'm asking them to make. It's not copying. They're getting inspiration. They're getting direction from what I've sent them. That is effectively what E33 has done with generative AI. And when they found out that something was accidentally still in the game, they fixed it. Everything else is done by actual artists. Take your virtue signaling bullshit, shove it straight up your ass. It's fucking bad.
Third party, you gaslit everyone into thinking you and Microsoft were the smartest people in the room. Turns out you were the dumbest. This is in regards to, as you can see, gestating Xbox fans deserve better all up. They don't.
Yes, they do. All gamers deserve better. I don't care. I don't care if you think otherwise. You're a slimy piece of shit. You're wrong. Because you are the reason why the gaming industry is gonna get absolutely butt-fucked and nobody's gonna be able to play games anymore because you want everything to be so overpriced that nobody can play anything anymore. You and your ilk.
And I hate
Right, because the Indie Game Awards would rather nominate games like Get Da Milk and Aquila over E33.
to say that, and that's not me being a PlayStation fanboy or facetious in any way, but what we're talking about.
Yes, it is. It's you being a PlayStation fanboy and being facetious. It's both of those things. You're lying.
Here, what the Red Dragon's even alluding to here is the ABK deal, the ZeniMax deal, everything else, selling and overhyping and gaslighting everybody into believing the Game Pass was the best deal out there, which in some ways may be for certain individuals.
It was. It was the best deal here. Keyword is was. It was. Because you could play your games without paying full price for it. I'd pay $20 to play a brand new fucking game. Because I'm not sure if I want to buy it or not. A lot of people found E33 and decided to buy E33 because of Game Pass. You guys are just fucking stupid.
Individuals, but you can say that through different iterations, whether it be streaming services for Netflix, HBO, Stars, Disney Plus, all that stuff, right? You can make a case for everybody, but as a general consensus, Game Pass doesn't work for everybody. Game Pass doesn't work for every corporation.
It doesn't need to work for everybody. It worked for what it was supposed to be. It doesn't work now. And stop being a smug little asshole because you're not right. You're not.
All right? ABK, the acquisition. ZeniMax, the acquisition. That doesn't work for every company. It doesn't work out the way you would foresee it if you don't have a true game plan. If you're not able to manage your current IPs and other assets in that company of that division correctly with great quality control and etc., that is...
Says the shill for a company who's wasted millions upon millions of dollars. Exactly. Hold on, I need to put this up here. That needs to go above. Exactly, Hero Culture. Why doesn't he keep the same energy with Naughty Dog? That studio is horribly mismanaged. Not just that. Bungie. They bought Bungie. And they spent millions upon millions of dollars on Marathon that has AI bullshit in it, that steals people's work. Where's the energy for that? What, where? Oh, where? Oh, where? Oh, I know. You're grifting and you're fucking dumb. I'm sorry. I wouldn't say you're grifting. I just say you're fucking dumb. You could be pandering. I could say you're pandering. You're absolutely pandering. You're fucking stupid.
It's not going to work out for you guys in the long run. A lot of people tried to tell you this, A, B, and C. Connect the dots. All this stuff was going to happen. Take a step back and realize what you guys are cheering for, rooting for, telling them what you want to do. You need to voice your concerns. It was all about a console war narrative. It was all about, we get this, we're going to have all these...
You console war. You're doing it right now. You're console warring right the fuck now. You are saying that other gamers do not deserve any better than they're getting because they disagree with you on shit. And they like something different than you do. You've categorized them as the enemy. You're saying every gamer that likes Xbox, that plays on Xbox, deserves to be shit on. Including the ones that have not said jack shit, that aren't online. That's you. You deserve less. Yet you bought 2 copies of Concord, Xbolt. Exactly. Exactly. Where's all those 12 live service games that they were bringing up? Xbolt? Where are the 12 live service games? Oh yeah. They're all canceled.
These exclusives, because once again, exclusives mattered at that point to them until it didn't, right? And it's just interesting. But yeah, they don't deserve better all up, especially the fanboys, the fraud shills, and grifters specifically. The normal fans of Xbox, again, no fault. They don't know what's going on, especially the casuals.
But you're saying that they don't deserve better. You're saying they don't deserve better. Because they didn't say fanboys, they said fans. That's not fanboys. People who like... anybody who likes something can be considered a fan. You're disgusting. You're stupid. And you're ugly. And you're bold.
They're just sitting in here and they may chime in to Colt, Jez, etc., the whole circle. Even Gaz himself at one point, right? It's like, he made that video, right? Just singing that song, Phil Spencer, going all that stuff with the acquisition. It was huge. They were wrong and wrong and wrong. But again, no, sorry. Xbox normal fans may deserve better, but you guys, Jez and company, screwed that up. Helped to screw that up. You played a part in this whole role.
No. You're saying they don't deserve better now. You don't get to play that shit. You do not get to play that shit. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely fucking not. You do not get to do that.
That's just the reality of things, right? As we continue on, Jez continues himself. He states, some of you might remember that I heard over the summer that Xbox was being expected to deliver a 30% profit margin on Xbox 2 or XB2. I thought, no way, that's effing insane. Well, it's confirmed. Amy Hood wants to destroy Xbox with exactly that ask. So this is going to be a theme of Jez blaming Amy Hood on everything when it wasn't just Amy Hood. And when you're part of a corporation, you're part of a business, and your primary goal is a business, whether you're profit, for-profit, non-profit, just a standard operating business, whatever you are, your goal as a business, okay, you might want to zoom in on this, your goal as a business is to make money. That is your job, is to make money for the business.
Kicked in the can. Two different fans and fanboys. Yeah, completely different things. Says the guy who still plays Overwatch 2. Yeah. So fucking stupid. I'm so over it. I'm so over this shit.
Business to increase profit margins, to do all that sort of stuff. So yeah, when Phil Spencer and company sitting and spinning and not doing the things they needed to do, trying to parlay some sort of a deal with Satya and anybody else willing to listen, like, hey, if we acquire this stuff, we're gonna be in a great position. This is our only position because we're losing out to PlayStation and Nintendo and all this stuff, and we can't seem to quality control and manage the IPs we have to put up a fight. So this is my rhetoric here: is Game Pass and acquisitions. This will work. Trust me. No, that's not the case. Amy Hood and others are finally like, enough's enough. We need to figure something out here. This is what our goal needs to be. Whether we hit that or not, whatever. That's a conflict and a conversation for another time. But again, pointing the fingers, that's what they do. They don't take a look at reflection and be like, guys, look, we were wrong about cheering this on. We were wrong about the direction, etc. No. As we continue, he's not done. Keep on keeping on. So he's using the Death Stranding kind of meme situation here where he has all the packs on him, right? The packages. No banjo, business updates, games canceled, endemic hate, price hikes. The endemic hate just gets me, it sends me. Corpo greed, daily FUD, Xbox community holding all this up apparently. All right, there's a lot to break down here, but again, Amy Hood is a BT. So he's very upset saying that Amy Hood is the worst of all and they are a BT.
Yeah, she is. She's the worst thing could happen to Xbox. She's one of the worst things that could happen to Xbox. And you being over here gloating because you want an enemy, a rival console to just die is laughable. You're a child.
So, you guys didn't launch a big enough campaign to get Banjo going. Fell on deaf ears, right? Business update, that's standard, right? Games canceled, that happens all the time, even across Nintendo and PlayStation, all right? Endemic hate.
Hey, buddy. Sly Cooper, Jack and Dexter. Where are they at? Where are they at? Don't talk about Banjo and Kazooie when you guys have your own CEOs going, oh, we don't have enough IPs. Are you joking? Are you joking? They are disrespectful to you on a daily basis. And you guys just eat that shit up. You just open your mouth, let them spread their cheeks and squat over it and shit down your throat. Because you have no spine.
Again, victim mentality, price hikes. That's what happens with acquisitions that you guys cheered for. Corporal greed. Again, welcome to a business and a corporation across the board, whether that's Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, Amazon, Google, whatever you want to throw out there. That's standard, but yes, victim mentality, guys. Daily FUD. This is the most interesting one to me because that's what you guys did. Jez, Gaz, Colt, Anna Hansen, Andrea Piccinini, the catfish. Everybody, and that list is very short. I can make an hour and a half just naming off lists. As if there was donors and Patreons that I could list off. I could list off an hour and a half of names that helped spread daily, yes, daily FUD for the Xbox community that helped harm the brand more than help it, from gaslighting, overhyping, and just...
Says the guy who's over here, along with other ilk like MBG and Reforged Gaming and Dreamcast guy, saying Xbox is dead on a weekly basis. I don't think you guys understand how many times Dreamcast guy has said that Xbox is dead over just the last year. How many videos he's made just on that. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. So I don't want to hear it from you, Xvault. I don't want to hear it. I'm going to give you another minute before I go to the next person because I am sick and tired of your voice and I'm sick and tired of your condescension and I'm sick and tired of how fucking retarded you are.
Straight up lying. You heard it here first, Fonz. Xbox might slightly be ahead of PlayStation in console sales. Out of his ass, right? Multiple things. And from everybody that I could list in an hour and a half. It is insane. That's why we have receipts weekly.
Might being the key word. Might is the key word, you dumbass. Might. Oh my god. Tell me that you're not salty with... Tell me you're salty without telling me you're
weekly,
salty.
Full of receipts that I could make 2-hour video segments every week if I truly wanted to do that. But again, we all have a lot of time and other videos and content to get to, so I respect that time. That's why I don't. But as we continue here, James states, can you tell he's trying to wash away that...
You don't respect our time because you're talking out your ass right now. Right now. You are talking out your motherfucking ass. I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of this shit. I'm so sick of this shit.
Xbox stand should become more neutral, and he's talking about win Colt at this point in time, mind you. He has obviously since changed since this post, but I'm assuming you own more than a couple hundred games on Xbox. If not, you should have bought a PS5. And then, of course, how excited are you for Halo Campaign Evolved, Xbox, PlayStation, PS5? Really excited, looks good, Game Pass, no thanks, WTF, Halo Studios doing. And then Mike Ibarra chimes in, of course, all the podcasters pivoting real fast. And I agree with Mike, but they tried to pivot, and I guarantee you, and this was a very, very short campaign for Colt and a few others, that they were kind of trying to pivot there a little bit, trying to test the waters, if you will, dip that toe in the pond of seeing like, hey, if I become more neutral, how does my follower base react to that? How well are they going to receive this? Even if they were, you know, being a little more positive.
So being a little more neutral and allowing for other platforms to get better and realizing that having multiple platforms is a good thing is somehow malicious and bad. Oh my god. Shut the fuck up. I'm moving on. Oh, it's daddy time. Hi, daddy. We've got Alex sitting right now, and this one is Steam is in danger. The RAM crisis just got worse. Where's Sly Cooper? Where's Ape Escape? Where's fucking Killzone, Sony? Exactly. Exactly, Red Chaos. Exactly.
Oh yeah, this is not going to end well in any way whatsoever. I really feel like we are moving into a space right now where you're going to actually own nothing and pretend to be happy. Yep. Everything is moving towards this space where the entire industry, even in consumer electronics, is getting exponentially more expensive with every sense of the word. And it is not only impacting the actual components, now apparently it's also impacting games themselves, and even when games are going to be set to be released. Yeah, we are crossing a Rubicon that we have never seen before, because right now trying to find any sort of RAM at all is an actual crime, seeing as how the prices of DDR5 RAM especially have skyrocketed exponentially, with Micron themselves leaving the entire consumer industry with Crucial and only focusing on AI specifically. And it turns out that Micron may not be the only one leaving the consumer-facing industry for their devices on either hardware specifically for PC manufacturing. Yeah, it's going to get really bad. So not only do we have the possibility of other major manufacturers in PC hardware leaving the consumer space, we also have massive increase of costs and prices basically just across the board. And to make matters even worse, it turns out that the one game basically everybody's been looking forward to could be on the shelf because of all these issues happening as well. I guess
that doesn't make me feel warm, cushy, and fuzzy inside. That makes me feel fucking terrified for the future. I feel terrified for the future because of that. Absolutely terrified. I don't know where we're going to go from here. I don't. I really don't. I'm worried. I'm so worried for what's going to happen next. Are we even going to have gaming for much longer? Because it doesn't look like we're going to have a whole lot left over very soon. With how things are going. Unfortunately.
So we're never really getting Half-Life 3 now, are we? Because according to WCCF Tech, Half-Life 3 is going to be a Steam machine launch game, and Valve is targeting spring 2026 for both. But the announcement is being held back by RAM pricing issues.
Wow. The one thing that people have wanted for decades may not come because companies have gotten beyond greedy. Oh boy. We are not ready for this crash. We're not. We're 100% not. It's gonna crash. The bubble's gonna burst. And it's gonna be a problem for everybody. But it also might fix a lot of things that are issues right now.
One of the biggest concerns I've had for the Steam Machine was, in fact, its hardware, having 8 gigabytes of VRAM on the actual GPU. And of course, the other issue would be the 16 gigabytes of RAM attached to it as well. With every single other major manufacturer basically focusing on completely with just AI, the cost of the actual Steam Machine that we broke down in a couple videos before was going to be around $700, which really would, in my opinion, basically make it dead in the water, being far too expensive for that kind of price and that kind of performance as well. The issue is, though, because of RAM being a major impact right now, we could be seeing the Steam Machine being pushed back even further or being released with a price that would not be conducive to actually being successful in the first place. And on top of that, even delaying Half-Life 3. But the article says even more, so let's go from there. In the latest episode of the Insider Gaming Weekly podcast, journalist Mike Straw provided an update on the Half-Life 3 situation. According to his sources, Valve is holding back the announcement due to the ongoing RAM pricing issues affecting the PC industry, which will inevitably impact the price of the Steam Machine, since the game is supposed to be the big launch title for the new...
It's gonna impact everything. It's gonna impact everything, and we're all going to suffer for it. But hopefully once we bounce back, hopefully things will be better. We need another Uncharted game people forgot about. Honestly, no, I don't think we don't need another Uncharted game. We do not, Todd. The reason why is because that started the whole movie game genre, and that's become a problem. They need to go back to making games like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro and Sly Cooper. The stuff that everybody fell in love with. They've gone way too far off the deep end. Unfortunately, it might end up being the more directions towards AI since Microsoft and many other companies are doing it right now. Oh, I know. I wanted them to do that so they crash and burn and learn their lesson. We need another gaming crash. Because they were not going to learn.
New hardware. It doesn't make sense to reveal it until they are ready to go forward with the Steam Machine. The original launch window was spring 2026 for both. Now, here's the thing. I can totally see Valve doing that exact same thing. Not about having a killer app or an exclusive as part of the Steam Machine, but the fact that they've done this before, especially with Half-Life Alyx and the Steam Index as well. Granted, that thing was about $1,000, and Half-Life Alyx should have been ported to every other VR platform, in my personal opinion. But the thing is, you can clearly see Valve using their largest IP to go through and say, hey, look, if you buy a Steam Machine, you get a copy of Half-Life 3 as part of the actual bundle as well. Remember, they also did this with Half-Life 2 when they launched Steam in the first place, and nobody liked Steam when it launched in the first place, even when it was packaged with Half-Life 2. So things can definitely be occurring with Steam directly and with Valve on what they want to do with the Steam Machine specifically. But of course, the biggest factor right now with everything happening isn't just whether or not Half-Life 3 will be bundled with the Steam Machine. The biggest factor right now is the price of RAM in the industry, as we've seen exponential prices just increase out of nowhere and even get even crazier. In fact, here's a perfect example. Nick Tech on Twitter said this: how do they have the audacity to say that RAM is, quote, on sale? I don't think anyone's crazy enough to fall for this and think they're saving money, with a picture of 120 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM at $1,494.
That's fucking ridiculous. I disagree. I think we need a proper balance between movie games and Crash Bandicoot style. Unfortunately, hero culture, what I think is the problem with that is that gaming executives don't understand that there needs to be that, and therefore it won't be. There can't be. Because what they're going to do is they're going to shill out massive amounts of money for the least amount of effort that looks the prettiest, with the least amount of gameplay in it. That's what they do. That's what they're going to keep doing until they learn their lesson not to do it. Also, that's fucking stupid. I got 64 gigs of RAM. I have 64 gigs on my computer right now. For like a quarter of that. A third of that, max. That is ridiculous.
With executive AFK zooming in on the actual image, showing the $722 for 120 gigabytes of RAM basically black markered out, showcasing that they are literally increasing the prices exponentially across the board.
Yep.
And that's the scary part about all of this, is watching these RAM manufacturers go around and say, hey, look, we're going to increase the prices on consumers, but also go back and make business contracts and renegotiate those agreements as well. So we could be seeing Valve in a negotiating battle between all three major RAM manufacturers, whether it's SK Hynix, Samsung, or even Micron, about how much RAM they're going to be needing, what kind of RAM, and how much it's going to cost them, which could definitely impact the price of the Steam machine itself. But of course, Mike Straw has even more insight about what's going on too. The window that I was told was spring 2026 for the Steam machine, for the Steam frame, for the Steam controller, for Half-Life 3. At the end of the day, the game is real. There's no denying it. It's just a when and not if at this point. All the signs pointed to it being announced in December. Then everything hit the fan, and I think it was a case of that concern. The Steam machine was supposed to be Q1, like the end of Q1 2026, but I'm starting to wonder if that hardware is going to be pushed out. And that's going to be the biggest issue with—
Yeah, it's going to be a problem. I like the movie games and I don't want them to disappear completely. That's fine to like them, but the problem is that it's become the standard, and it cannot be the standard. We cannot let them make that the standard and continue to make that the standard. It's fine to have them every once in a while, but having that be the majority of your market, because when's the last time Naughty Dog put out anything other than that? Riddle me that, Batman.
All of this, seeing these AI companies just basically gobble up massive amounts of RAM. All these companies like SK Hynix, Samsung, and Micron basically turn around and say, you know what, screw the customer consumer. We're only going to focus on the AI specifically, and the data center specifically. That's also going to be a problem as well. Because now what's happening is every customer is being squeezed out of every single aspect. And now the typical gamer, waiting for basically one of the biggest games of all time to come back out and finally get an announcement date because the hopium is honestly real, is getting even worse. Because now that game could be delayed due to the RAM shortages and impacting the Steam machine as well. I'm excited for the Steam machine. Seeing an actual baseline of PC configurations and systems being able to be used for a lot of developers to go through and say, hey, look.
I'm hoping for it too. I'm hoping that it goes well. But unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be a problem. It looks like it's going to be a problem. And I dislike that greatly. I dislike that greatly.
Here's the basic.
I had 32 gigabytes of memory RAM, which was 120 back then. Yep.
We can use for and then optimize up from there would make PC ports better in general. Having a good space for people to go through and buy a simple, affordable device to play PC games on and get into Steam as well, seeing how good it is for a consumer perspective, is also a great sign too. But it costing $800 or $700 or even $1,000 due to the RAM pricing issue is not going to be a good thing at all for anybody, because if you're going to spend that amount of money, you might as well just get something even better as well. And I think that's what these companies are shooting for, going around and stopping the low entry barrier, raising the floor of pricing across the board, making it almost impossible for only the people willing to shell out the kind of money to go through and actually buy that hardware specifically to own the games that they want to play. Thereby forcing people, again, into cloud services as well, which many companies are already starting to do, showing that is the cure to the poison they're already fighting to give you. But not just that, it turns out that even other manufacturers are having a hard time too, because we may be even going backwards in terms of actual performance.
Yeah, because people cannot afford the massive spike in price. Can't afford it. And it's sad. Because what used to be an escape for so many people is getting to be taken away. And that's fucked beyond belief.
Take a look. Also, according to WCCF Tech, memory shortages could force laptop makers to rely more on 8 GB configurations, according to a new report. And this is where I think the funniest things are going to come to fruition, because having laptops powered by AI with 8 GB of RAM really makes no sense whatsoever, all because of the actual push for AI. And the funniest thing about all of this isn't just the fact that we are now going back from 16 gigs of RAM down to 8. The funniest part is that Microsoft themselves even stated that AI Copilot powered PCs need 16 GB of RAM to function correctly. So hold on. I'm losing my mind about this. We are now in the Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail. You need 16 GB of RAM for it to function correctly for the AI system, but you're gobbling up so much RAM that the only way people can actually have manufacturers go through and provide laptops for people is to have 8 GB of RAM in the first place, or else you can't sell it because it's too expensive. There it is. There it is. Instead of using simply AI as a tool, they're trying to use everything to replace it, and turning around and buying up every single piece of DRAM available to you is now causing everything to regress backwards rather than forwards, which is what everybody wanted in the first place. But of course, it gets worse, because it's not just laptops. It's basically everything else on your PC now. Because
AI has become the standard bearer and the greedy mechanism in which corporations are trying to get more money out of you for less. It's horrendously bad. I hate it. I hate how things have gone. It needs to stop. They need to learn.
Turns out that WCCF Tech also posted this yesterday, and it doesn't look good. Saying, quote, some GPUs are reportedly facing price hikes, raising concerns that a crypto-like pricing cycle could reemerge, driven by its part in rising DRAM costs. with the article saying that, quote, the NVIDIA RTX 5070 series is seeing rapid price hikes in Japan. The RTX 5070 Ti and 5070 both increased by $50 to $100 in price this month. Oh, but you thought we were done? No, we're not done there. See, not only are we paying exponential prices for RAM, now also it turns out GPUs are increasing in price as well. But NVIDIA wasn't the only one. AMD is also reported to increase the price of their GPUs too because of the AI bubble. And the fact that both NVIDIA and AMD are now actually going around and having deals directly with OpenAI, they're basically just trading IOUs back and forth between each other. And we are literally in the actual essence of a literal bubble. Yes, this is an actual bubble with AI companies and actual GPU manufacturers and DRAM manufacturers all basically just trading money back and forth with each other, trying to make as much money as possible if you want to put money in quotations and trading back IOUs. This entire thing is going to burst. But of course, as always, it's going to get worse because it's not just RAM, it's not just GPUs, it's also going to be your SSDs as well. According to...
Yeah, everything. Why are you stopped? Why are you stopped? Why did you stop? Oh my god, I fucking hate you, game.
To PC gamers, Samsung will reportedly announce the end of SATA SSD production next year. Multiple industry sources suggest adding to our memory pricing woes. Now, I know what some people are saying, Alex, we even use SATA SSDs anymore in 2025. That's ridiculous to say. Who cares, am I right? That doesn't impact me whatsoever. Well, it actually should, because if they start with SATA SSDs, then they're going to move on to NVMEs. And the big problem is there's only 2 slots for NVMEs on most motherboards. So if you need more space beyond that, you're going to have to move to SATA. And that's where the things get really concerning, because we've also reported recently on here in the channel too that Samsung has also been internally fighting between its own mobile division to go through and ask for RAM for their own cell phones, which Samsung has clearly said they're not doing that, and that would never happen. And it turns out Samsung said the exact same thing about the SATA SSD issue. They were denying claims that they would never do something like that to go ahead and remove SATA SSDs from production. We'll see how long that lasts, because if
it's not gonna last very long. Everything's gonna collapse.
Micron wanted to leave consumer parts altogether, I'm sure Samsung will try something like that too. But you see, it's not just the actual SATA SSD that's the issue. It turns out things are going back even further and getting even worse still. Because also according to WCCF Tech, HDD prices are surging under severe supply pressure, making the largest rise in 8 quarters according to a new report. That's right, baby! We're gonna return to monkey, apparently, because things are going to go from bad to worse. Not only is it delaying Half-Life 3 in the Steam machine, and the Steam frame, and the Steam controller, so we're impacting games. Not only are they raising the prices of RAM, but also GPUs. Not only is a possibility of SATA SSDs being gone as well, but now HDDs, you know those platters on a disk that we used to have back in the day that you had to defrag all the time? Those are seeing price increases as well because of the massive surge of everything going on and people not being able to afford anything at all. We are going back in time. We are losing everything we've gained forward in technology all because of AI. And we're losing everything across the board from every aspect overall, simply because every company wants to force AI into every single product when it doesn't do anything for the customer or consumer. And it's not even being used properly as an actual tool. Yes, it's going to impact everyone and everything. It's even gotten so bad, Nintendo's feeling the pressure too. Because according to Tom's Hardware, the Nintendo Switch 2 RAM had a price increase of 41%. NAND flash was up 8%, and console giant shares nosedive in the face of increased cost warnings. So it turns out those of you still on consoles may in fact be having a harder time as well, as we're all—
Oh, sad little fanboys. You thought the PC was dying because of the RAM shortage. Now you're feeling it too. You didn't think this was going to come back to you? Oh, it's going to come back to you.
Also looking into the next generation of systems like the PlayStation 6 and the next Xbox Magnus, we're seeing the Nintendo Switch 2 possibly also get a price hike due to the increase in pricing of RAM itself in the industry. We are adding to a long list of issues that AI is causing across the entire board, not only just in gaming, but in technology as well. And the lack of ownership is going to be incredibly scary. We're seeing every single company basically just walk around and do everything they possibly can to line their pockets with everything happening in AI. And the RAM crisis is in fact getting worse because it's spreading not just from RAM, but to basically every single part of a personal computer. And like it or not, your consoles are also personal computers. They require RAM. They require SSDs. They require everything possible to function correctly. And these exact same companies like AMD and NVIDIA and Intel and Micron and Samsung and SK Hynix, they're all working together to inflate their pocketbooks with AI money, yet at the same time, they're going to charge you more money for those consoles specifically. Literally nobody is safe, because now we're also seeing games like Half-Life 3 being delayed because of the AI issue, and even hardware that we should be getting at an affordable price is also having a problem as well. This is all going to hell in a handbasket in the worst possible way. And the meme, in my opinion, is actually true, because I really feel this is in fact a bubble that is going to burst faster than anybody can predict. And here's why. According to Nicole Miller on Twitter, Microsoft is scaling back AI goals because almost nobody is using Copilot. And Windows Central has also reported that Microsoft's share slide puts them in fourth place behind Google, with shares down 5%.
I'm not using Copilot. I'm not using Copilot. Fuck it. Fuck it. I don't care. I don't like it. I don't need you helping with shit. I'm smart enough. I can figure it out.
What's going on? It's artificial intelligence, of course. Is the bubble bursting? Not yet. I really think it's going to burst, but I don't think it's going to happen just yet. And hopefully, though, this is a massive wake-up call for what's going to be happening with AI itself. You see, Microsoft has their own AI. It's called Copilot, and they're literally forcing it into everything. Now, they're putting it into Samsung TVs as well. So, they've also been heavily invested into AI specifically. And you're going to bet your sweet bippy that you're going to be seeing AI into the next Xbox console being implemented, seeing because they want to make Windows the best place to play. But that's where things are going to get really sticky as well. Where is Microsoft going to make the cut on how much systems should cost and what's going to be happening with the consoles moving forward, and what are they going to be sacrificing? Because Satya Nadella is specifically working on the AI side of Xbox and Microsoft, not on the console space anymore. So this could be a bigger factor overall, not just in the AI space and tech space, but also in the gaming space as well. Because you're going to be seeing so many other companies focus on this aspect. And when the bubble finally bursts, the one thing that's going to be happening is seeing every single company come crawling back to the consumer, lowering all the prices and watching enterprise parts flood the entire market, because I can bet that's what's going to happen next. And when the bubble does burst, it's going to get even worse for everybody across the board, because all those devices that are AI powered may not even in fact function correctly after everything has been demolished. And things might get even worse, because now everybody's going around trying to strip AI out of Windows specifically. You can go on to GitHub and find that out right there. It's very easy to do. And this is going to be the problem, the big fight between everyone, having control and ownership of what's happening, yet watching the market dictate each other and telling when they can release products, what they can do with products, or how much things are going to cost, simply because these companies are all basically in bed with each other, honestly, across the entire board of trying to line their pockets with IOUs, simply because AI is a bubble that is in fact going to be worse before it gets better. And that's the problem with all of this. We're seeing AI basically just completely fuck over every single thing that's been happening in the gaming industry, whether it's increasing prices of actual PCs.
AI is going to be the problem. AI is going to be a massive problem. I'm telling you what. It is going to be a huge fucking problem. It already is. And we're going to have one hell of a time trying to figure it out. Because AI is being shoved into everything. Everything. Everything.
PC components, so you can't build your own PC anymore. Whether it's games being delayed.
Seriously, we went back. Yeah, we did. So literally, we are slowly turning AI into the next IRL Skynet, yes. Or at least somewhat to that degree, yes. This is really stupid of me to say, but I had zero clue my PS5 had RAM. Yes, it is a personal computer. Your console is a simplified personal computer. How are we going to remove Windows AI command? Yeah, here we go. Remove AI's Windows. Yep. Good. Get gone. Fuck y'all.
The Steam machine being delayed, the Steam frame being delayed, actual games themselves being delayed, laptops going back to 8 gigs, everything else across the board, even with GPUs increasing in price as well. This is not a good sign for anyone. But the funnier part to me is going to be this. When the bubble inevitably bursts, and that will happen, by the way, it's going to have massive ramifications. Because all those AI systems that are being forced into everything are no longer going to function correctly. And when they don't function, they're going to flood the actual market with all those enterprise-level chipsets, causing a massive downturn in cost for the consumer themselves to buy those parts and hardware to have their own devices. Either that happens, or the entire thing goes completely haywire, and the only way we're actually going to be able to play our games is through the cloud, because everything else will be too expensive to even do anything by then. Either way, we're fucked. Because seeing Valve try to struggle with all of this, seeing every other major company struggle with this, is not a good sign for anybody. And no one in this entire space is safe. I can more than likely bet you're going to be seeing a price increase for the Switch 2, or dare I even say another price increase for the PlayStation 5, the PS5 Pro, and even the Xbox Series consoles, marking this as the actual third time those systems get an increase, which of course would actually be a proper reason to use the term market conditions. But you know what? Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below.
Thank you, Daddy. Now let's get to his arch nemesis. Not Black Bond. The other one. This tard. He put out this video 4 days ago. Fate of the Old Republic, here we go again. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, this is gonna be bad. I can already feel it. I can already feel how bad this is gonna be.
As the dust settles on the Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic announcement, I sense a very worrying pattern. And it has nothing to do with the game, the studio, the director, none of that. His response about the release date,
homie, why is your shit peaking so bad?
Happening before 2030, well, it didn't land on me the way that it did everybody else. In case you missed it, Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic was one of the biggest and most exciting announcements at the Game Awards, and the re-uploaded trailer already has like over 2 million views on the official Star Wars YouTube channel.
Is this another, Night Rain should have crashed? Should have failed? Kind of video? Because that's what it sounds like to me already. I'm 30 seconds in. I have a feeling you're going to have some of the dumbest fucking takes ever. And the absolute worst part is that these companies are legit showing pure utter greed to the point they should also sit on a Mount Everest of money than to spend even a single red cent. Exactly. Yeah, they're firing people and placing with AI. And guess what? It's going to fail. Because they're not going to have enough memory and they're not going to have enough of anything to sustain. And I'm going to laugh.
But the official interview on StarWars.com prompted many of us to say the release date is probably pretty far away, which that's its own breed of disappointment. Continuing to trot out big Star Wars.
No. We know that it should be in the future. The reason being is because we want a good game. We will wait. We will fucking wait for a good successor to Knights of the Old Republic. We will fucking wait. Just give us another forced, unleashed game, or at least a remaster. Those games are so peak. Knights of the Old Republic is by far one of the best Star Wars games they've ever made. People have been salivating for another one, and I don't want to say, or I can completely see why. I can completely understand why. Like, it's a good fucking game. They're good fucking games. I remember playing them on the Xbox back in the day. It was good. The Xbox 360 era. I remember that shit. It was good times. Good times. So what stupid shit are you going to say now?
Wars game announcements is great, but it starts to lose its luster when they are still mysterious and they lack release windows, and some of these announcements are now over 4 years old. But the interview on this indicated that the game was still in the early stages of development, so people started to speculate. Bloomberg's Jason Schreier said an optimistic release window would be about 2030, which, to be fair, that's a very reasonable prediction. Game development, especially for projects like this, taking 5 years is not abnormal. At some level, it should be encouraged and even expected if we want a good game to release and for it to be ready. But this prediction prompted a response from the game's director, Casey Hudson, who said the following: "Don't worry about the not till 2030 rumors. The game will be out before then. I'm not getting any younger." And this is not landing on me the way it did everybody else. Many people...
Okay, so what's your fucking excuse? What is your fucking excuse? How did it not land on you well? They want to get this game out. What it could be saying is that they're already further along than you think they are. What do you mean it fell on you differently than everybody else?
People were celebrating. They're like, well, that's great. It's not 5 years away. Maybe it's only 3 or 4 years away. But this concerns me for a few reasons. And first, how could you even know this? With that level of confidence that your game, currently in the early stages of development...
Because they could be lying about where they are in the development stage. They could be further than you think. They could have a handle on where things need to go, and it might not need to take that long. If you optimize your time and you optimize your efforts, you can get way more shit done than you think. Because I didn't think that I was going to be done with the main story in this game when I was. Now all I have to do is go through the stupid fucking post-game DLC shit. And all I have to do after that, is do a run, a really quick run that'll make me maybe 1 or 2 streams, maybe 1 at most. Because I spent so much time fucking around. Aw, damn it. I fucked that up because I was talking too much. So, tell me why you were so upsetty spaghetti about what possibly could be going on with Knights of the Old Republic Reforged. I want to hear your stupid fucking understanding of everything, or lack thereof. Because we know for damn fact that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about half the time.
Development is going to take less than 4 years, or it won't take longer than 4 years. In all the years that I've covered gaming, nobody knows the delivery date, the delivery window, or the year when the game is in the early stages of development. Now, maybe you have like a target year, but you don't speak about it like this. You don't say, oh no, yeah, we're definitely going to be out.
You are not an expert in the industry. You do not work in the industry. You are not a developer. Your thoughts and your experience, quote unquote, does not matter here. Doesn't matter here.
Before then, which got me thinking, why would he say this? Not just confidently, but publicly. And the first word that came to my mind was Disney. That's the other thing I'm concerned about here. We know that Disney famously said they want a new Star Wars game every 6 months. I've continued to look at Jedi Survivor and say, listen, it was abysmal on PC and console when it came out, probably because they were told it needed to come out. This could very likely be what
So you're making massive assumptions based upon what?
Happens with Fate of the Old Republic. The reason he knows the delivery timeline is because he's been told that from Disney. I refuse to believe that Jedi Survivor came out in the state that it did because the developers felt that it was ready. They famously said in an interview, the director's like, oh, we could have taken more time, but we didn't. It sounded like a great cover story to protect Disney, and that same director left Respawn later that year, and I've always theorized he got his new timeline for the third Jedi game and was like, I'm not doing this again. I don't want to ship another game.
So you're making assumptions off of nothing. Why am I not surprised? Why am I absolutely not surprised? You're making assumptions based upon no evidence whatsoever. All you're doing is maybe, a herder birder. Oh my god, you're fucking stupid. You like to pretend like you are some kind of arbiter of truth. Like you are any kind of, I don't know, reliable source of information. You think that you're an expert in shit, and you're not. I will never claim it. Excuse me. I will never claim that I'm an expert on anything, because that's fucking stupid.
That's not ready. He basically left after they finally got Jedi up to reasonable performance on console. Still not in a great state on PC after all this time. So that's my final worry. We have all these Star Wars games in development with nothing more than exciting cinematic trailers and announcements, and some of those are over 4 years old now. Eventually, Disney's going to pull a lever. They're going to say, cancel or ship the game. Canceling's not ideal, but neither is shipping a game before it's ready. So yeah. Fate of the Old Republic announcement was exciting, and I love Star Wars, but Disney makes me immediately skeptical, and I'm ultimately saying, here we go again. But those are just my thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below. You might get featured in a live stream. We like to discuss these things later.
I don't want to be featured on your live streams. Go fuck yourself. Hey, Angry Vigilante time. We'll probably do 1 or 2 more of these, because I only have a little bit of time left. This might actually be the last one. No, this might actually be the last one, and I'll have to do something else later. Because I have to get hubby up, and I don't know what he's going to want to do today, so there's that. But I probably will be back again, obviously, to play more of this, because it needs to happen. Roll my eyes. Roll my fucking eyes. Alright, AVG. Tell us about how the game key cards are getting worse with Nintendo.
Fight the fight, breaking down the walls in the dead of night. I don't come for peace, I come for the storm. Fanboys melt quick when the truth gets warm. All content's high, I'm collecting those tears. Just got started, but I'm cutting through fears. I'm not here for brand deals, I'm not for sale. I expose your lies, rip off the veil.
Well, folks, we got a lot to talk about when it comes to the game keycard situation, because things just got worse. From Nintendo's ridiculous policy about using the same format across the base game and collector's editions, to the way they completely box publishers into bad decisions. Then they somehow have ironclad rules for formats with zero standards for actual ownership. But before we get into any of that, do me a favor and hit the like button and the hype button as well. It really helps out channels like mine to be able to stand up to greedy corporations and the toxic influencers who run nonstop damage control for them while pretending they're on the consumer side. Well, let's get into the root of this mess, because the more we look at it, the more absurd it becomes. We're being told straight from publishers, not rumors, not speculation, that on Nintendo Switch 2, every single unit in a product line must use the same physical format. That means if the standard retail version is one format, the special edition has to be that same format, and the collector's editions have to be the same format.
That's fucking stupid. That is so beyond stupid. Why would you do that to yourselves? Why would you do that to yourselves? Fucking terrible.
Format 2. No flexibility, no exceptions, no nuance. Nintendo's rules. And right there, that should already raise eyebrows, because that's not a consumer-friendly policy. That's not a preservation-friendly policy either. That's control policy. Think about how insane that is just for a second. You have a collector's edition, something that exists specially for the most dedicated fans, and the people willing to spend more money, the people who care about physical ownership, packaging, preservation, and long-term value. And Nintendo's response is basically, sorry, you don't get special treatment because we say so. The entire product line has to bend around the cheapest, most mass-market version of the release, so 90% of the units are meant for standard retail at lower price, the remaining 10% gets dragged down with it. And here's where things get funny in that sad, frustrating kind of way. Publishers are being upfront about the math. They're saying, look, if we switch entire run to real cartridges, manufacturing costs skyrocket. Not a little bit, not, oh, we'll eat the cost, because this isn't like a major AAA developer we're talking about. The game that we're referring to is a very low budget type of game. They're talking about needing to raise prices by at least 15 euros or more just to stay afloat. So instead of letting the collector's edition absorb that cost, which collectors are already willing to pay, they're forced to choose one format for everyone. And because Nintendo cartridging pricing is what it is, that one format ends up being the cheapest possible compromise to gain keycard. So Nintendo's policy doesn't just influence decision, it outright dictates them. Some publishers aren't choosing keycards because they love them. They're choosing them because Nintendo engineered a system with alternatives are financially suicidal. And then
It's so bad. I'm just waiting for the next Star Wars game that involves Cal Kestis. We need that full-on Vader fight, damn it. We're probably not going to get it back. I think that one might be dead now, unfortunately. I don't think that'll happen anytime soon, because we all know Disney doesn't give a fuck about Star Wars fans. They don't want to listen. They don't care. So I highly doubt we're going to get anything good. Yes, salt, but it's not going to be too much more salt. You're probably going to have to catch the replay, the VOD. Sorry, Josh. Probably going to have to catch the replay, because I'm not going to be on very much longer. This is probably the last video I'm going to be able to do.
Nintendo stands back and acts like, hey, this is just how the market works. No, this is how your rules work. And here's the part that really gets my head spinning. Nintendo can enforce a strict universal policy about formats across editions, but they apparently cannot or will not enforce an entire policy that says, if you sell something as a physical game, the game should actually be on the cartridge. Make that make sense. Seriously, you're telling me Nintendo has the power to tell publishers, no, you are not allowed to mix format across SKUs, but they somehow don't have the power to say, if you sell a cartridge, the data has to be on it. That's where we're at now. So let me get this straight. Nintendo is capable of micromanaging how products are packaged, how editions are aligned, and how production runs are structured. But when it comes to basic ownership, when it comes to whether the game even exists on the physical media they're selling, that's just a shrug, and well, developers need options. Funny how that works. Funny how the options always seem to benefit Nintendo's cross structure and publishers' margins, while the consumers eat the downside. And I'm not going to to sugarcoat what a game keycard actually is. It's not physical ownership. It's not digital convenience. It's a weird middle ground that gives you the downsides of both. You still need the card to play the game, so you don't get the freedom of true digital purchase, but the game isn't actually on the card, so you don't get the permanence or preservation of a real physical release either. And worse, it's still tied to the servers. That's the part influencers love to gloss over or downplay. This isn't just insert card, play game forever. This is insert card, download game, authenticate game, and hope those servers are still around years from now. Collectors know exactly why this matters. Physical media isn't just about resale value. It's about control. It's about preservation. It's about knowing that when Nintendo decides to flip a switch, or when a license expires, or when the servers go down, you can still own what you paid for. Game keycards fit directly in the face of that entire philosophy. The truth is, Nintendo created this problem.
Hey, happy birthday, Josh. I hope you're having a great birthday so far. Hopefully the rest of your birthday is going to be great. Thank you for stopping by on your birthday just to say hi. Of course they don't give a fuck. The only time they do is if their bottom line is dying and they need to get Ryan Reynolds again to make another Deadpool film to get them back in the limelight again. Oh, or get Steve Rogers back. Make Chris Evans come back as Steve Rogers, Captain America, because what they've been doing so far with Marvel is not fucking working, and they're desperate.
Into it by accident. By locking publishers into one format fits all rules and pricing cartridges the way they do, they make game keycards the path of the least resistance. And instead of acknowledging that this undermines physical media, they let publishers take the heat while influencers run interface. And let's talk about the price excuse for a second, because it always uses as a shield. Well, cartridges are expensive, okay, and whose fault is that? Nintendo controls cartridge production. Nintendo sets the terms. Nintendo decides what sizes are available and how much they cost. If Nintendo actually cared about physical media, they would have solved this before launch. They wouldn't be reacting after backlash. They wouldn't be letting publishers explain away.
I don't think Ryan Reynolds is getting sick of it because he loves being Deadpool. It is now that we've got Salt content. Well, Gar's gonna be on too, so fantastic.
Why collector's editions don't even contain the game. What makes this even more absurd is that the collector's editions are literally designed to absorb higher costs. That's the whole point. Steelbook, artbook, statue, soundtrack. Those things exist because collectors are willing to pay more for a premium experience. But Nintendo's policy says, nope, you don't get to do that if it means changing the format. So instead of charging collectors more for a real cartridge, everyone gets downgraded to a glorified licensed token. That's why I find this whole thing hilarious. Nintendo can be strict when it benefits them. They can enforce uniformity but not quality. They can enforce format consistency but not actual ownership. They can enforce pricing structures that push publishers toward keycards, but they can't enforce a standard that says physical means physical. So when people ask why there's so much anger around game keycards, this is why. It's not just about one release, it's about the precedent. It's about a company that has the power to do better and chooses not to. It's about rules that exist solely to protect margins while eroding what physical media is supposed to represent. And this is just the beginning of the conversation, because once you start pulling on this thread, it leads straight into cartridge sizes, artificial scarcity, rising costs, and slow normalization of owning nothing while being told you should be grateful for it. And because Nintendo couldn't sit here and figure this out before launch, we're stuck in this mess. But now Nintendo is supposedly trying to course correct by offering multiple cartridge sizes for the Switch too. On paper, that sounds like a win. Smaller cartridges mean lower cost, more flexibility, and more opportunities for real physical releases. And yeah, compared to where we are, that is technically progress. But let's not kid ourselves. This does not actually solve the problem people think it does. All this really does is change the excuse. It gives publishers another option, not a moral awakening. Third-party companies are still businesses, and businesses will almost always choose the cheapest path that they think they can get away with. If a smaller cartridge still costs more than a game keycard, and it will, most third parties are still going to pick the keycard. Not because it's better for players, not because it's better for preservation, but because it protects their margins. That's just reality. We're talking about the same companies that nickel and dime players with deluxe edition, season passes, and day one DLC. So the idea that they're suddenly going to eat extra costs out of kindness for collectors is laughable. Smaller cartridges don't force anyone to do the right thing. They just remove one layer of plausible deniability. And that's why I'm saying this clearly. Once Nintendo makes these cartridge sizes available, I'm done blaming them when third-party publishers still choose game keycards. At that point, that's on the publisher. If they have a real cartridge option and still say no, that's great, plain and simple. But I think Nintendo should take less of a cut than 30% to help it out. But that understanding does not apply to Nintendo's own games. Not even remotely. Nintendo controls the hardware, the cartridges, the manufacturing, and the publishing. So when Nintendo themselves start using game keycards, especially for major first-party titles like Pokemon Pokepia or whatever corporate sludge they're pushing now, that's completely indefensible. There's no
I mean not getting sick as playing Deadpool, but more of getting sick of Disney pleading with him to get them out of the shithole they're constantly in. I don't know if he gives a shit or not, honestly. I mean, Thunderbolt and Fantastic Four were pretty good. Yeah, but that's 2 movies and, like, how many that have flopped since Endgame?
Financial excuse for that. That's not necessity, that's conditioning. Because when Nintendo does it, it sets the tone for the entire industry. It tells publishers and consumers alike that this watered-down version of physical media is acceptable. And once people accept it from Nintendo, everyone else gets covered to do the same thing. Now, there are still limits even with the smaller cartridges. Games are getting bigger, not smaller. Some modern third-party titles are never going to fit on any reasonable cartridge, and those were always destined to be digital or keycard. Fine, that's reality, but smaller games, collections, and mid-budget titles absolutely can go physical now. And whether they do will expose who's acting in good faith and who isn't. And another thing that we have to get into about the different size cartridges is they're not that much more cheaper than what the 64 gig is. We're talking about like up to like $5 if I remember correctly. So I still have a feeling that many of the third-party publishers are still going to pick the game keycard because it's a far cheaper option. I have a solution that could solve this whole problem, and it's one that none of the Nintendo influencers are willing to talk about because it completely destroys our argument. All this could have been avoided if Nintendo had just gone with discs instead of cartridges. That's it. No game keycards, no arguing over cartridge sizes, no half physical nonsense. A disc-based system would have sidestepped this entire mess from the start. All they would have had to done was just offer one disc size. That's it. If you played Age of Imprisonment or Metroid Prime 4, you already know the load times aren't great. They're bearable, but they're noticeably slower than modern systems where games install directly to the hardware. And no, I'm not talking about PS2 era load times. Anyone who played Madden or Blitz the League back then remember waiting forever because those systems were reading straight off the discs. Modern consoles don't work like that. The disc is just a delivery method now. You install the game, and after that, everything runs off fast internal storage. That's why load times on PS5 and Xbox blow cartridges out of the water. Every time this comes up, people say, well, then you'll have to install the game and it'll take up space. Okay, and you're already doing that with game keycards. Nintendo's own games are relatively small, and you don't need 50 titles installed at once. Have a few games, rotate them out, and you're fine. PCs do it, PS5 does it, Xbox does it. This storage panic is massively overblown. Then there's the handheld excuse. Discs would get trashed too easily. That argument falls apart the second you remember the PSP existed. It worked just fine. Sony put the disc in a protected plastic shell, and I had never once heard real complaints about widespread damage until recently, when it suddenly became convenient to pretend it was a problem. People also bring up the Vita switching to cartridges like that proves discs were bad, but that ignores context. The switch happened because UMDs were too small and too slow for where games were going at.
I heard FNAF 2 was horrible. I disagree. I loved it. I fucking loved it, Joshua Morton. I had a great time seeing it. So did hubby. So I'm not gonna say that it was bad. I'm not even gonna say it was even close to horrible. I thought it was great. But that's just me. I think you should go see it and judge it for yourself.
At that time, not because discs were fragile. Sony has never once stated, or at least what I can find, the reason why they switched the cartridges with the Vita. Today, that limitation doesn't exist. You could absolutely make a small Blu-ray-based disc with far more capacity than those old formats. And here's the key point: at a much lower cost than cartridges, discs are dramatically cheaper to manufacture at scale than carts. Lower media costs.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, ABS. You really are. Unfortunately, people are too stupid to realize that you're right. And this is how our entire fucking world, our entire hobby is gonna die. This is where it comes to die. This is where it comes to fucking die. This is where it comes to die. And it's gonna die badly.
This means fewer excuses, fewer compromises, and far less incentive to push the game key cards. Nintendo sticks with cartridges because they love expensive media. It gives them
fucking
control,
everybody. Gay!
Cost, limited sizes, publishers dodging real physical releases, and worse performance compared to systems that install games properly. That's why this whole situation feels so unnecessary. We're not lacking technology, we're not lacking solutions. We're arguing over compromises because Nintendo chose the most restrictive, expensive path and then acted like the fallout was unavoidable. The disc-based approach would have been cheaper, faster, and cleaner for everyone involved. Instead, we're stuck debating which version of not really owning your game is acceptable while influencers rush to defend it as innovation. That's why we're fed up, because deep down, everyone knows this problem didn't need to exist in the first place. And that's it for the video. If you truly enjoyed it, do me a favor.
Switch 2 had discs, it would be bigger, and it would have 30 minutes of battery life. That's true. And I'd say to wait and see what they're going to do with Avengers Doomsday. We really don't know the plot. The cast, from what we've seen, is pretty damn good. Yeah, but it tells me that they're struggling if they're bringing back Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans. That shows that there's a problem. I know this opinion is probably invalid, but Tron Ares had good quality, and it's the soundtrack. Only good quality soundtrack. No, you're probably right. But that's it for me today, guys. I'm gonna go take care of hubby and the puppos and probably do a little bit more grinding on the back end with Assassin's Creed. I'll probably be back later once things have settled a little bit more. To clear up some misinfo, because I've been watching the MCU series, I was 10. The only flop was the Marvels. All their projects made their production budget back. The need to make 3 times its budget back is conspiracy theory. That's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying. Because if you look at the quality of it, it's not nearly as good. The original Doctor Strange was great. The second one, from what I've seen, ass. They haven't put out a good movie, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions. I'm not talking about what they've made back. I'm talking about the quality. The quality has been ass. None of the shows have gone well. Even the Daredevil the Daredevil TV series that I've seen coming out has flopped exponentially, and people are disappointed. It looked good in the first couple episodes, and then it flopped. She-Hulk was ass. You completely butchered the character, and you butchered Daredevil for the funnies. They've completely made it disjointed. You have to be watching everything in order to know what's going on with, like, one niche movie. The choices they made have not been good. I'm sorry to say, Hero Culture. And that's somebody who enjoyed all the way through Phase 4. All the way up to Endgame, I enjoyed pretty much everything. With the exception of a couple of movies. For me, it has nothing to do with budget. And I'm not talking about budget. I'm talking about quality. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, I'm going to get off. I'll be back to play more Assassin's Creed Shadows. I might react to more stuff whilst doing that. I don't know. We'll have to see. Thank you guys for dropping by for a shorter stream. And I'll see you in the next one.